Hi, I'm Mike with the School of Self-Reliance, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about a company that I've been doing some business with lately called the Knife Connection. At the Knife Connection, they sell G10 scales for Esee and Becker. Now, I just did a review on the Becker scales and told you about those. These are for the Esee 6, and I've got a blade right here. These are for the Esee 4. And there's something really unique about these 4 scales, and I'll show you that in just a minute. However, you can buy at the Knife Connection, they have a deal with Esee where you can buy a blade. Just a blade, no scales. Now, you will have to purchase one of their sets of G10 if you want to buy just the blade. But if you were going after the G10 scales anyway and didn't have the knife, this is a fairly economical way to go. I think this is $65 or $67 for the blade for the 6. And you can purchase the sheath and other attachments and so on separately, and you still come out a few dollars to the good rather than buying the entire knife and then throwing the micarta handles away. Now, this is an Esee 4, and you can buy the whole Esee line, Becker line, and so on. Every product that they have, you can buy at the Knife Connection. And some of you may ask why I'm hammering a little bit on the Knife Connection. Well, that's really simple. I think they're a good company with some innovative products. And I think that they offer some things that nobody else does, which one is these G10 scales, and the other is the ability to buy a blade and the scales and put your knife together that way. Here in just a second, I'm going to show you how to put these scales on this blade. Alright, now that we've removed the linen micarta, we're just going to take the 4 and set it right in here. See, it's got that nice recess so that everything will lock up, fit in place nicely. Again, it comes with all the hardware that you need. Now, there's going to be 3 of these collars that fit through the handle. One's going to be longer than the others. That one's going to be for your middle section. 2 shorter ones will be for your front and rear. You're going to want to take these short screws and you're going to want to start them about halfway in each one. About like that. That might even be a little too much. And then we're just going to insert them front and rear till they go through. I'm using my other fingers to hold them. I'm going to drop in the next screw or bolt. Get it started. And do the same on the rear. Now, I'm not tightening these down yet. You're going to want to get them semi-snug so that you can still manipulate the handle. Again, there's the middle one. Just put it right in. Drop in our last screw. Get it started. Now, you want to be able to manipulate this handle a little bit so that you can get good alignment on the grips, so that your grips fit without any overlap. Now, you don't want to over torque these. Good and tight is more than enough. And go a little at a time with each screw until you've got it tightened down. Otherwise, you're going to pull your grips, and that's probably plenty. As a matter of fact, I'm sure it is. Now, that's made a nice uniform fit. where it's nice and clean. That way you're not going to get any hot spots or anything like that. There's no places where the blade doesn't line up with the grips. And right here at the end, I've always thought that the Esee needed that extra little bit of handle. And these grips give it to it. You've still got a lanyard hole, but you've got that little extra bit of grip, that little extra handle in your hand that's going to keep your hand from fatiguing while you use this knife. And I've always thought that the 4 needed that. And the Knife Connection folks solved that. Dale over at the Knife Connection came up with these handles. He did a really nice job, in my opinion. Now, they've got a deal with Esee where you can buy a blade and the grips. I mentioned that earlier. Now, you can't just buy the blade before you ask. It has to be a blade and grips. But it's a fairly economical solution to getting a nice set of grips on your knife without having to buy a whole knife and then throw away a perfectly good set of grips. So what we're going to do here is we're going to install the grips on the 6. I'm going to need to get one thing and we'll be right back. Alright, we've got our Esee 6 blade, all of its hardware, and the G10 scales that I'm going to put on it. These are actually in brown and black G10. They have another one that's earth camo that I think is pretty good, but these look pretty good to me. This one's going to go on just the same as the others. What I've done is I've started the screws about halfway. You can't put them in too far. If you put them in too far, then there won't be enough of this bolster going through the other side for the other screw to grab. So keep that in mind. Again, 2 of them are shorter. The one in the middle is longer for the hand swell. So you're going to want to put the front and the rear in first. That way you can get better handle alignment. And again, don't try to torque these down, immediately. You want to line the handles up. You want to make sure that they have a good fit before you torque any of this down. And again, you don't want to over torque it. Too much pressure is a bad thing. And just go along the edges and make sure that the knife and the scales are lining up right. Snug them a little bit more. If they won't snug up, grab your other wrench, give it a little turn. And just don't be in a hurry with this. Let it take the time that it's taking. You'll end up with a much better fit if you do. And again, don't over torque them. They don't need a King Kong torque on them. You don't have to play Gonad the Barbarian. more than enough. And then again, they linked up really, really nicely. They fit perfectly. There's no ridge or anything like that for your fingers to get caught on. There's not going to be a hot spot there. The texturing on these scales is really, really nice. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot there, but as soon as you feel it, it's extremely grippy. Just as much as linen micarta, in my opinion. But the main reason why I brought this to you is because I think that these are some really innovative products. I think that they're excellent additions if you have a Becker or an Esee product. And just in case some of you are wondering, the 4, with its new handles, goes right into the existing sheath. The 5 and the 6 are the same. They'll button right into their existing sheath, no modification necessary. But you get those extra benefits that we talked about with the 4. And again, this is really, really well textured and grippy. Just really, really nice. Doesn't absorb blood or oil. This one is green and black. This is just the color that I chose. They offer a lot more. And if you're looking for just one of the nicest additions to any of these knives, those handle scales are pretty much it, in my opinion. They're just a must-have. But also, if you're looking to do something like this and you're looking to save a couple of dollars on buying a knife and then buying the scales, just go to the Knife Connection and buy the blade and buy the scales and then buy your sheath and other things separately. You'll actually come out about $30 to the good by my pricing. And that way you get what you want the way that you want it. And you only had to pay for it once and you didn't have to wait and order a bunch of things separately. But an innovative product from a really good company. And I trust these people or I wouldn't recommend them to you. Again, I'm Mike, the School of Self-Reliance. I hope that this helped. If you like what we do, like us on Facebook, watch our videos, share our videos. Thanks for watching.